Going on, kids? Chris here. Let's rock this thing and do it today. So, let's talk about processes and why they're important and also how to really create those profitable processes for your agency. If you're running your shop on your own right now, or if you actually have staff or team helping you, processes make an enormous difference. Processes are kind of like having a bicycle instead of walking somewhere. So, walking's super cool. I love walking. We do a lot of traveling. We take a lot of city tours, for instance. We do walking tours. They're really fun. But we were in London recently. We did walking tour before COVID, I guess, when we could travel. We did walking tours and bicycle tours. A process, though, is like having that bicycle, right? So you can cover some ground and maybe knock out a mile or two and see some cool sights when you're walking. But if you have the processes in place, it's amazing how much you can get done and what happens. You can just go like 10 times as far and actually get so much more done, and your processes can then be built into places where your people can ride that bike for you. They can start getting the job done for you while you're not even working. So I'm going to pull up a few things here. I'm just going to pull up my phone here so I can make sure I respond to folks and say, hey, there we are. Super glad you're all here. Thanks again for being here. It's great to see you guys on a Friday. But let's jump in here and talk processes as we're building them out. Processes can be kind of boring, so I don't want to be boring at all, but I do want to make sure we cover this. We get a lot of questions around this, and there's a lot of automation you can do around processes and things like that that people want to lean in on. But it's really important to make sure that you know why your processes are what they are and that you're doing it for the right reasons and in the right way as you build them. So, first up, let's talk about kind of why processes, okay? So, why processes is really important. You want to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. So, I'm just going to drop some notes in here as we go. First up, the reason why you want to do, what's up, Sharon? And the reason why you want to do these processes is you want to make sure you're minimizing daily distractions for you. There's only so many things you can keep up with in your head, and you want to make sure that those distractions aren't getting in your way. So a simple process, just something, this is going to sound crazy, but like, this isn't crazy at all. I do this. A lot of people do this. Making a fruit smoothie in the morning. All right, so I have my smoothie stuff kind of laid out, organized in the pantry, in the fridge, and in our kitchen, so that in the morning I can wake up and I have a simple little process, right, put together so that I can just knock out my smoothie really, really quickly. What's up, Matt? Great to see you. I want to make sure I knock that out really simply. It's just a smoothie process, right? But when you're building a business and an agency, having those simple processes, task and management systems running, those kind of things really going for you, a process for your emails, a process for your calendar, a process for tasks, a process for projects, a process for how you communicate with clients, a process for how you communicate with your staff. All those things really minimize the amount of time it takes for you to recreate the wheel every day. And that's really, really important. What's up, Jonathan? Great to see you. And Andrew, awesome to see you. Mike, super cool, man. Y'all having a fantastic Friday. It's great to see everybody. Happy Friday to you, Andrew. Fantastic. Glad to see you here, man. So get your processes rocking and make sure that you have them in place for the right reasons, okay? Let me throw one more quick little thing in here. I'm going to kind of list out some reasons for why these processes are important, and then we're going to jump in deep to exactly how to make them happen, okay? So let me just jump back here. There we go. Number two there. They're a foundation for delegation. Processes are so, so important because of delegating. It's really important to have the processes, and it's so cool when you do because all of a sudden your people can just simply follow you. And it becomes like you're almost automating yourself. You're taking a bit of your brain and your expertise and you're putting it into a structure that makes it easy for someone else to follow. Last thing there I want to mention for why we want to have those processes. Let me just toss this in here as well. I'm just documenting this so y'all can copy paste or write these down or remember them if you need to. Is 3, to know the science of your business. Now, this is kind of nerdy and people get a little bit weird or scared about this sometimes, but knowing the science of your business is really important. I don't want you to spend all weekend or late one night just trying to like fill all these spreadsheets out and do all this crazy stuff, but you do want to absolutely know why things are working and why they're not, all right? A simple process in a business could be a sales script, right? So a sales script, something you follow over and over and over again, and you begin to realize if you stay with that script, that the script itself is showing you strengths and weaknesses as you're doing the selling. Same with a process for workflow. If you have the same workflow going over and over and over again, even if you custom work for a lot of people, fine. But 80% of what you do is probably the same thing over and over again. Getting that laid out in a process and then following it and then looking back and realizing, hey, what's up, Chris? And Franklin, awesome to see you. And CN, William, great to see you all. Yeah, happy Friday. Woo, happy Friday to you, CN. Make sure that those processes really get you in the right spot. And that good to see you too, Franklin. Make sure those processes really get you in the right spot so you can see what's working and what's not working in your workflow. Okay. Also, if you're starting to delegate, you're outsourcing to someone like on Upwork or Fiverr, or if you have your own team members or 1099, however they're working with you. If you're working with them, you're going to see that the frustrations will go way down as you begin to really implement those processes and hang on to them. Franklin, systemize, automate, and what do you say there? Franklin, systemize, automate, and delegate. Absolutely focus on doing only the most important task that only you can do. Love that, Franklin. So true. So true. So we're going to make sure that we're getting those processes in place. Let's talk about how to actually put the processes in place. I'm trying to type and talk at the same time. I probably shouldn't be doing that. All right, let me just jump over here to processes themselves. So how do I create processes? Okay, I'm just going to drop, again, my notes right here in the comment area so you guys can see them as we go forward. So when I'm creating processes, first thing I do is I create SOP videos. All right, SOP videos are super easy to make. So this literally right here, what you're watching me do is an SOP video. You can't see what's on my screen right now, but if you could see that I actually have a Google Doc pulled up right here next to me. And I'm making these points as I'm typing in there for you, and I'm just typing them out and then copying and pasting them to Facebook in the comments. All right, I'm showing you the importance of a process and how to build some processes right now. That's a simple SOP video. You can do the same thing in your agency, and you can help your staff and you can help yourself grow as you build the SOP structure and as you start to layer that on. Just simply recording what you're doing. If you're like, hey, I need some help with my email or calendaring, or this same copy paste repetitive process I do in my workflow, you can just record yourself doing that. Record your screen. Don't have to worry about video. Just record your screen, your audio. Talk through the process as you're going. Save it in a Google Drive folder, and then boom, you can outsource that to someone else. They can watch how you do it, and they can start replicating that process for you and save you so much time. It's a really quick way to build a process and a quick way to have somebody else take it off your plate. So creating those SOP videos, standard operating procedure is what SOP means, is such a big thing. Hey, if you have questions as we go along here, ask them. I'll answer those questions absolutely as we go. We'll just keep those going live. It's so much easier that way. And here's the next big point. You want to make sure that as you're building your processes that you're using templatized tasks or projects. Okay, a lot of task and project management systems right now, I think most of them do this. The ones we do sure do, like Asana, Trello, Monday. We use Wrike, W-R-I-K-E. There's tons of systems out there. They're all great. So they all do pretty much the same thing. They let you link up to like your Google Drive or your Dropbox or whatever. They also let you build tasks and projects. Right. Here's the thing. If you do something that you do over and over and over again, you follow the same steps, and you need to make sure you keep up with that for 20 clients at a time, or to be able to hand that project or task list off to someone else. What's up, Ian? Awesome to see you, dude. Joanna, great to see you too. Thanks for hanging out. Happy Friday. You want to make sure that you are really taking the task, breaking it down into a project or task in your task or project management suite. And once you kind of get it all bullet pointed out, go ahead and make that a task or project template. Again, most project and task management suites allow you to do that. So you make that a template, and then anytime you want to go and recreate that project or task, a new client comes in, whatever that process flow is for you, you just simply grab it and make it a new task. You copy it, put it where it belongs in your project suite. You don't have to recreate it every time that way. It becomes this ongoing working document that's active and alive, and all you got to do is drag it in, put it in place, pick the start date, pick who it's assigned to, and boom, the whole thing is off to the races and starts running itself. Franklin, I call a badass agency: build, analyze, delegate, automate, systemize, scale. Dude, I love that. Build, analyze, delegate, automate, systemize, scale. Badass. I love that. That's really clever, man. I love that. Thanks for bringing that up. Cian, pick a tool, learn a tool, use that tool. You aren't missing out. That is so true, Cian. That is so, so true. So many people, you know, so when I'm on Facebook or I think even Instagram has this stuff now, they show these ads. Like I'll see Trello or Monday.com or some task or project management suite like that. And every, you know, like every quarter there's like a new one out there and it's like, oh my gosh, that one looks so good. It's got the pretty colors and I can drag and drop and they're all pretty much the same. Like you say, Sian, they're all pretty much the same. They just simply do the same thing different ways. Some are more visually oriented, some are more text oriented. Bottom line is pick one that works for you and then start using it. We chose to start working with Rike, Wrike, probably 5, 6 years ago, and we've not changed because we were using Asana and we tried a few other brands back then. But honestly, making the shift is going to cause way more heartache and trouble and confusion for me and my team than sticking with what we got. And Asana's great. I mean, not Asana, but Rike is great. Whatever. Pick one that works with you and get it done. Yeah, shiny object syndrome, Sian. You're so right. That's what we all are, right? We're all a bunch of shiny object ADHD freaks over here as entrepreneurs. That's who we are, right? I mostly help take care of the ass part. Love it, Franklin. Dude, I love that acrostic though. Build, analyze, delegate, automate, systemize, scale. Badass. Dude, love that. All right. Point number 3 here. Let me just pop it in and type it up here. Point number 3 here for how to create processes. Again, love your questions. Keep bringing it on, folks. Love this valuable content y'all are throwing here. Document what works and what doesn't work. Okay, so if you look back up here, number 1 for how to create that process was create SOP videos, standard operating procedures videos. Number 2 was use that templatized task or project suite that you have. Build those templates, replicate those, and stamp them out as you go. What's up, Ray? Great to see you. And then make sure that 3, you're documenting what actually works and what doesn't. A lot of times we build these processes, and as entrepreneurs, many of us are not great at process building. It's cumbersome. We don't like having to build the steps out. We don't want to think about those details. We like the big picture stuff. We're excited about the next shiny object, right? But you do need to go back and look at those processes maybe once a quarter. Just go back and review them with you or your staff and just make sure that you're getting the right stuff done and that you're not doing the wrong stuff. Because often we'll build a process and then I might have a staff member who's handling that for me and I'll go back and review it. And then that staff member ultimately hands off and delegates it to another staff member. And now that staff member that's doing it now has no connection to where it started. And if I don't go back and kind of help overview that or some other expert on my team doesn't, then those processes can become pretty wasteful because we're doing it because it's the way we've always done it, but not the way that's right to do it now. So make sure that you're always going to go back and review those processes and do what's working and stop doing what's not working for you. Franklin, you're going to love the logo. Haha, absolutely, Franklin. Can't wait to see that one. And love that. Pick the tool and use it. Yep. And make sure to actually combat the shiny object syndrome. I don't care if you have to say a hymn every day, but figure it out. Yep. So true. Franklin, you're right. It's the shiny object thing. Back to this figuring out what you should and shouldn't do. If something's broken, stop doing it or fix it. If something's working, keep doing it. Make sure you go back and understand it. Remember when we talked about a few points farther up, we talked about that, just scrolling back up here to the top of my comments, you know, the processes and why they're in there. It's knowing, part of it is knowing the science of your business. Having that process lets you look back and say, this is working or this isn't, and lets you measure it, lets you really understand it. And things like that are so, so important. We're running businesses here, folks, right? We're not running nonprofit shops. We're not running, and I'm not saying nonprofits are messy. I'm just saying we're doing this for a profit. We are in business. If you're here as a nonprofit, yay you. But most of us in this group are absolutely for-profit businesses. The point is, you've got a reason to be here. Even if you're a nonprofit, let's say you are, even if you're a nonprofit, like some of the boards I serve on, they're still in business. They got to be efficient. They got to be profitable. As business owners, we have to be efficient. We have to be profitable. We have to do what's working, to stop doing what's not. And we really want to make sure we're super intentional about that process. So pick your processes, nail them down, and really start going after the stuff that's really going to get you the traction that you need and doing the right things. That is it for the process conversation today. Ask questions. I'll hang out for another minute or two. Love hearing your questions. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's working, what's not. Anything you're stumbling with right now in your agency, I don't mind hanging out here and answering. I've got several more minutes before I'm bailing out for the day. The paddleboard is waiting for me outside, and I can't wait to get out there. Next week, we're going to hit on Monday. We actually have another expert who runs agencies extremely efficiently. He does a bunch of one on one coaching for agency owners, and we'll be talking to him on Monday. He does a lot of the same efficiency work that I have done in my agency, but that I don't like teaching or training. Like he gets deep into P&Ls and like balance sheets and the financials and all the really deep nitty gritty stuff. Great guy to lean in on. And so we're going to be talking to Chip on Monday. And on Tuesday, we're talking again. And Tuesday, I'm hoping to cover the people stuff. So why to have staff members, why to start outsourcing, why to bring in VAs, full-time, part-time kind of stuff, and then how to actually start taking action that way. CN, use calendar booking software like Calendly. Absolutely. Yes, CN, love that. I used to waste a lot of time on calendar booking. If you think about it, when you're booking someone's calendar appointment with you, CN, your point's very well made. What time Monday, CN? 10 a.m. Central. I believe we just put out an event planner for that, CN. Thanks for your recommendation on that. You and several other folks wanted me to put that out there, so thanks. I'm structuring myself. 10 a.m. on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. We'll be hitting that up every week for Q&A instead of me just jumping in like I did now randomly throughout the day. So that event schedule should be out there now. If it's not, it'll be coming out today. I'm just going to shoot a quick text to Lucy so make sure she's got that for you. Did the Facebook event go out? Okay, cool. So we'll cover that on Tuesday. We're going to cover people. And then there's a stack of other questions that keep coming in, and I'm trying to catch up to you folks. So Lucy said that it did go out. So CN, take a look there and see if you can find it. Booking that in. Great. CN, let me know if you can't see the event thing. So we're going to cover the other questions. We've got some fantastic questions from several other folks that are burning in there, and we're trying to get to them all. So I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit on these Q&As and structure them a little better for you guys. Y'all are awesome. Any other questions you have for me right now? I will take them. Retarget the ones that opened it but never booked. Oh, cool, Franklin. That's a great tip on the whole calendar thing. Retargeting the ones that opened the link but never booked. I actually don't know how to do that, Franklin. That's pretty cool. We use Schedule Once in our calendaring because Schedule Once gave us tons of functionality that we really, really like. It had more bells and whistles than Calendly. But Calendly's so clean and pretty. It's just a beautiful presentation. I kind of like the way Calendly looks the best. Anyway, okay, folks. You have a fantastic weekend and be awesome. As always, when I'm doing these live Q&As on Fridays, I always say this. It's so true. Don't work this weekend. Chill out. Turn it all off this afternoon when you can, and then take an entire weekend off. Turn the social media off. Turn the messages off. Turn the texting off. Whatever you can do, just relax. You need your space. You need to rest that brain muscle you've got and make sure it's ready to rock and roll for a big push on Monday. And that's a really big thing to do. So take a break. Franklin, those are hot leads, man. You're so right. I just got to figure out how to retarget people who opened it but never booked. That's pretty cool. Put the Facebook pixel in Calendly. All right. I'll look into how to do it with Schedule Once. But even then, you could iframe the Schedule Once on a page and pixel that. Brilliant idea. Dang, Franklin, you're on it. Badass agency right there, buddy. All right. Wendy, great to see you. Sorry, we're just about to jump off here, Wendy, but if you have any questions, dive in. Otherwise, we'll see you back here Monday, 10 a.m. Central, U.S. time. We can do more Q&A then. Anyway, great to see everybody. Y'all have a fantastic weekend. I'm going to jump now and go hit the paddleboard and enjoy this weekend. Y'all have a fantastic one. I will talk soon. Bye, guys.